Hello and welcome. This will be a reading for Pisces for the end of August and all through September 2023. Welcome Pisces. I have pre-shuffled the cards, but I will shuffle them again for you. The flower is fresh from my garden and the crystals have been in their salt bath. I'll be using a 10 card spread with 5 cards along the top row, 5 cards along the bottom row. I'll be talking about those cards as they come out and then overlaying them with a second deck of cards and talking about those cards as well. My cards are both in the upright and the reverse position, so I'll be reading them as they come out. Okay, Pisces, let's begin your reading. So first card out, 7 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, the Lovers in reverse, and the 6 of Swords in the upright position. Queen of Wands in the reverse position, the Sun in the reverse position, 3 of Wands in the upright position, King of Wands in the reverse position. Oh, we've got 2 cards here. Okay, I'll take the first one. The World in the upright position. I'll put that one over here. 5 of Wands in the upright position. I'll show you this one. So what have we got there? Oh, we've got the 7 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so that's on the bottom of the deck. Okay. Straight away, it's quite a lovely reading. So big changes coming towards you at the end of September. By the end of September, you will be completing out a cycle. So that's rather nice. And that's usually a very positive card on the table as well. You've also got the Sun, and even though it's in reverse, it still always puts a great positive energy onto the table, Pisces. So even though you've got a lot of cards in reverse, it doesn't really change the reading to a negative reading at all. So don't think because they're reverse cards that it's a negative reading. The 5 of Wands did come out, so it wanted to come out. So it's talking about some sort of a struggle, a little bit of a struggle, and that could be just you, could be just struggling through the energy, because the reading I'm doing for you is going basically from the August new moon, which has been very crisp and very sharp, and going right through past the full moon at the end of August and into September. So we've got the super moon at the end of August, so quite powerful energies. That new moon was particularly crisp, so it felt very much like squeezing through the eye of the needle. So we have got some energies here that I'll talk about. 7 of Wands again, a little bit of a struggle. The 7 of Wands is a little bit of maybe feeling like you need to justify yourself. Perhaps people are querying what you're doing, making you feel that your choices, that you don't have a right to your own choices. This is a card of being defensive, struggling a little bit with people perhaps, as I say, questioning you overly, asking you too many questions about your decisions, or you feeling that the things that you're doing or the place that you're trying to fill in the world. Got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So the Ace of Pentacles would normally talk about a very positive change, a new opportunity coming towards you, perhaps even new money coming towards you, and it's in the reverse position. So I'm assuming that may be just some sort of a delay with something coming towards you. Sometimes, even though we've been granted things by the cosmos and allowing things to come towards us, sometimes we may be offering up a little bit of resistance to what's coming in. And that's not a deliberate thing. That can be just sometimes not being ready to go smoothly into the next stage of our life. So that can offer, so you've got the 5 of Wands and the 7 of Wands, so perhaps a little bit of resistance. And as I said, it did feel very much like August was squeezed through the eye of the needle, particularly with that new moon. So perhaps you're feeling that pressure, and that could indicate that something is coming, that the maybe a job offer or a new opportunity, maybe some money that you're owed, is perhaps a little bit delayed, and that could be because of your own resistance. But as I said, none of that is deliberate. Sometimes it's just that we are not quite ready to go with the flow. Here we've got the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse position. So the Queen of Pentacles, quite well off, quite comfortable. As you can see, she's worked hard for where she is now. She knows how to spend her money. She loves the beautiful things in life, and she likes to buy nice things. So perhaps This is an indication that you may have been overspending a little bit, because 2 cards, you've got 2 pentacles here in the reverse position, so you may be overspending slightly or just living slightly beyond your means. I'll leave it at that for the time being, because you've also here got this 7 of Pentacles, and normally that would be stopping and pausing to take a little rest and reflecting on where you've been putting your energy. And in this card, the pentacles are all around the person. Often they're all in a pile on one side with one in the foreground. So surrounding yourself with beautiful things. Perhaps you've been surrounding yourself with beautiful things and you may not have the funds to live that kind of lifestyle. But I'll leave it at that for this stage. Here we've got the Lovers. So this is a separation of some sort, a division, because it's in the reverse aspect. So this could be a separation between your conscious and your subconscious mind. You may have gone more into the material side of things, more on a worldly plane, and leaving your spiritual side behind, or leaving even your thoughts behind, very much acting rather than thinking. That could be this card. This can also be a physical separation between someone you love. It's in the reverse aspect, but I'm not quite sure. There's not much else to indicate that this is a love reading. 6 of Swords, moving on to better times. So this is a very positive card. This is, you know, taking your family with you, not going singly by yourself somewhere. You are accompanied, you're taking everything you have, moving on to better times, just waiting for that little bit of change to move through. So the first row is quite positive. We've got the Queen of Wands. This is in the reverse aspect. The Queen of Wands is somebody who's always well groomed, takes good care of themselves. This person is in the reverse position, so perhaps you haven't been giving yourself the care and love and respect that you need. This is also about self-respect. The Queen of Pentacles is also about self-respect. All of these queens are quite noble women. You would not expect to see a queen who is not well groomed, wearing her crown, wearing her full regalia, and very composed. And both of these are in the reverse position. So I'm assuming that something about your self-care is perhaps a little bit off or a little bit reduced, and you may be just feeling slightly under the weather. You may have undergone a small period of, you know, it can be just a viral infection or something like that, where you just feel a little bit below par. So you do need to focus on yourself. You need to give yourself all the love and attention and care that you need. The Sun is a beautiful, beautiful card. So this talks about rebirth, shining, glowing, vitality, all of those beautiful, wonderful things. It can talk about a literal birth, and because it's in the reverse position, I'm also reflecting it's feeling very much strongly attached to these queens. So not feeling in your full vitality, I suspect. Maybe, you know, just needing to reconnect and give yourself a little bit of time out just to sort of strengthen yourself and get back up to speed. And here we've got the 3 of Wands. So waiting for something to come in. You're waiting for a change. You're ready and expectant. And the 6 of Wands is telling me very much that this energy is coming towards you. I feel that these cards here, these struggles, maybe you're trying to push your way through. Sometimes we just have to wait for the time for the cosmos to open. Here you've stepped into that portal, so you're waiting for this opening to happen, and you've got this same energy here with the Lovers, this opening starting to happen. It's almost like a birth, a rebirth, and even the Sun has a little bit of a rebirth energy. So, pardon me, I've got 1, 2, 3, and even this one perhaps is suggesting that rebirth. You know, these 4 cards here are definitely suggesting to me a rebirth. You've already made that decision to step through, but it does feel like a little bit of a struggle. So something about where you're wanting to go, perhaps you're meeting resistance from other people, and as I say, perhaps you feel like you have to justify yourself. And it could just be that you're not quite ready to go with the flow. You may be having to tidy up loose ends about something, but here waiting for this ship to come in, waiting to expand, waiting to step into new horizons. And again, this birth process to me feels just a little bit delayed. So I do feel here, but it's moving forward because you've got the world here. So this is the birthing of this new life that you want to step into in September. So by the end of September, I think you will have pushed through. Sometimes it just takes a couple of weeks while we juggle with the energy, and it's particularly strong energy at the moment. So it's asking us to let go of the things that we don't need to take with us into this new part of the world. So the Six of Swords and the World is definitely talking about this new beginning. Got the King of Wands here in reverse as well. So you've got the King and the Queen of Wands. If this is a couple, they have some separation here, which I'm talking about here. There is potential for some separation between you and someone else. But I think it's a temporary situation. I don't think it's, maybe you're struggling with your partner about something. But again, this is in the reverse aspect. Now, the King of Wands is all powerful, as you can see. This is someone who's highly creative. The Queen is highly creative as well, but she thinks about it a lot and she's looking at it a lot. She analyzes. The King just goes and does it. He's already made up his mind, and so perhaps you've made up your mind and you're struggling to move forward, or perhaps you're the Queen who's just wanting to think about things a little bit more before you push through. So this is that energy of pushing through. So, you know, you have some quite a lot of wand energy here where people are holding wands, trying to push through. So I do feel you're trying to push through, trying to gather your full enthusiasm about this new cycle that you're entering. But once you've pushed through to the end of September, I think you'll be fine. I think you will push through into that whole new world. Definitely a big change coming for you, I think, by the end of September or thereabouts. Okay, let's clarify these cards with another deck. I might take Dancing in the Dark. Again, these cards have been very well shuffled, but I like you to see me doing it just so you know it's done. Okay, let's start. The Seven of Wands. Here we've got the King of Pentacles, Ace of Swords. Wonderful. What have we got there? The Queen of Swords in reverse, Seven of Swords in the upright position. Surprising how many people have had this Seven of Swords energy. This is trickery and betrayal, but it can also be talking about the little lies we tell ourselves, how we deceive ourselves. So don't be alarmed about that, because almost everyone has had that one. And the Two of Swords in the upright position. So very much there's that strong cutting energy. This is what the new moon had just a week or so ago, when the moon was very, very sharp and crisp. That decision you need to make about where you're moving on. Here we've got the Queen of Cups, lovely, on top of the Queen of Wands. So you've already got 3 queens and 2 kings. Oh, actually, you've got 4 queens. Page of Pentacles in reverse, 5 of Wands again in the reverse. What have we got here? We've got the Queen of Pentacles, 5 queens. Wow, that's pretty impressive. So that's very, very good. And the 4 of Cups in reverse. So let's have a look what's on the bottom of the deck. 9 of Wands. There's that weariness that is explained by, you know, feeling like you have to work very hard to get where you're going. And you've put in a lot of effort, and now you're meeting this last little bit of resistance, which explains this 9 of Wands, this energy of just driving through that last little bit. And if you're trying to persuade someone to come with you on a journey, a new journey, that can be quite a challenging process, while the other person perhaps is sort of trying to get their head around all that's involved in the changes that are going to be made. I feel that this is a partnership reading where perhaps 2 people are involved in a change, and one is perhaps a little bit more resistant, a little bit slower to come around to the idea. Here is the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles, wonderful, secure energy, somebody who knows how to handle their money, invest wisely, strategizes and thinks well about the future, and what they're going to do with their finances, plans and then executes. So there's that wonderful energy there, that little bit of struggle here underneath it. So perhaps you have to justify why it is you want to do the things you want to do with your money, the kind of lifestyle you want to lead. Here is this Ace of Wands. So it's on top of, it's rather interesting, it's right on top of this Ace of Pentacles, which I suggested may be a little bit of a delay, something to do with finances, something to do with an earthly plane, making something happen, or a new opportunity or a new job. Well, right on top of the Ace is a second Ace. So definitely, you know, quite rapid changes. This energy is there for you. So that is coming in probably, you know, right towards the end of August or right at the beginning of September. So this is this clean energy of just pushing through. This is the number one energy, sort of the opportunity is there. You then need to grab it and work on that energy. So this is quite passionate, quite enthusiastic. I'm very much thinking about maybe even somebody who's wishing to relocate, because we have a little castle here and we have a castle there. So we have two castles. So it could be that you're thinking about relocating or wanting to build a home, and that can require careful management of your funds and careful planning, because if you haven't planned carefully about something as decisive or definitive as a home, you can end up losing money. So this is this breakthrough, wonderful passionate energy coming through. Now on top of the Queen of Pentacles, you've also got the Queen of Swords. There we go, I'll show it to you in the reverse aspect. So in the reverse aspect, I'd say somebody can't quite get their head around something. They're thinking about it, they're doing their very best. They're speaking their mind and perhaps getting angry and getting a little bit cross, getting frustrated, maybe not being able to make you see their point of view, but they're trying to be as logical as they can. That person is trying to be logical. They want something nice. They know how to spend their money. They've worked very hard for it. They're frightened of losing what they've worked so hard to get. So that is quite a natural reaction of being scared of losing what you've worked hard for. Sometimes you need to take small risks, and sometimes you need to take a big risk. If your heart is drawing you somewhere, then you need to weigh it up. Can I afford to do it? How will it affect me in the future? What have I got to lose? Here we've got the Seven of Swords. Now, this may feel in this case like it's all going one way. That's what I'm getting. It's all going one person's way, and one person wants their own way and is not necessarily listening to the other person. So I think in this case, I was drawn to his ear, so I'll show you his face. I was drawn to his ear, maybe listening more carefully to if you're involved with a partner who's got some objections to something, or who hasn't quite got their head around something that you want to do. Maybe you need to listen more and just take a little pause. He's got bended knees here, so he's not striding out. He's sort of, he wants to spring into action, but you need to listen. You just need to pause a little bit and listen to what the other person is saying, because it feels like one person is trying to push through with their opinion. So that requires a little bit of listening. Two of Swords, and that's on top of this Lovers card. As I said, maybe a little bit of a division that's causing a division. If I was to put it in that position, you can see the energy here is pushing apart and pushing apart. So if you're not listening, it will drive a wedge between you. Here is a decision you need to make under the moon. Careful thinking, analyze, think, be critical and analytical. Also listen to your intuition, shut your eyes, close down for a little while, listen to what your heart's trying to say. You need to do this quietly by yourself, and then you can come back and speak to each other again. Once you've both done this, come back and speak to each other and discuss what your intuition has said to you, because that's something that sometimes a decision is made by your intuition and you both actually are on the same page at the same time. Here's the Queen of Cups. Loving, generous, kind, expressive, Somebody who knows very well how to pour their emotions into something. It's on the Queen of Wands in reverse, so you know, again, you've got so many queens on this table, so there's some quite powerful energy on the table here with the queens, because these are people who have dignity and self-respect and self-worth and have worked hard. None of those queens have got where they are without all of the effort that they put in. Somebody who works very hard, who thinks carefully, who takes action, but only after careful consideration. And this person is very generous and loving and kind, and that is shown here. So they're quite happy to be open and loving and kind. They've got the lid on the cup here. And they use their intuition. This queen will use her intuition as to who she gives her love to and who she shares her energy with. Okay. It is showing a cherub or a baby here. So there is this potential perhaps for a birth. As I said, there's 4 or 5 cards here on the table now that are talking about a literal birth, if someone is going through a literal birth. So congratulations to any of you who are giving birth. Now here we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and he's ready to step out. He wants to take a chance. He's ready to go. He doesn't, he's being young and youthful and very energetic and innocent in the quest to go forward. So there again, this could be associated with the sun here as a birth of a young person. Pardon me. Here we've got the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Wands. So it's on the table. This one's in reverse. So the struggle feels like it gets over. The 3 of Wands feels like a birthing card as well. So a little bit of a struggle, difficulties, mid-reading. So some sort of breakthrough here with this Queen of Wands causes this struggle to be over. So perhaps this Queen of Swords, once the Queen of Swords has a little bit more of a think about something, so then the struggle is over. So that's quite nice. So allow this Queen of Wands to do her thinking and analysing. Allow her to use her intuition. Here we've got the Queen of Pentacles, again in the reverse position. Something about this Queen is not entirely happy about a monetary situation, or the way the money is being spent, or a new venture, perhaps a relocation. She's got her head down, so I don't think she's entirely happy about a decision. But she may need more time to think. Here we've got the 4 of Cups. So 4 of Cups can be doubt, worry, thinking about it. And this may involve, you know, if this is the Queen who is in this relationship and having a hard time coming to grips with something, she may not want to leave her connections behind. She may feel that she's giving up too much emotionally, because here's the Queen of Cups in the upright position, and you've got the 4 of Cups in the reverse position. So the Queen of Cups may be feeling that she's going to lose too many of her emotional connections, or that she will be emotionally disadvantaged. But the world is here, so this breakthrough will happen. I think ultimately this Queen will decide to go ahead with the change and rebirth into a new reality. So definitely looks like you've got some struggles here, and I do feel that this is very much a partnership connection. It may be between your feminine and your masculine side, which means your intuitive side and your very earthly practical side, maybe trying to find a balance between something. But to me, it feels more like there's 2 people involved in this reading. So if there's so many queens here, I think the Queen is having some considerable doubt about something, and she's got to think that through a little bit before she's willing to take the chance on something. Now, I will do a Moon Oracle card for you. I have shuffled these cards. I'll give them a bit of a shuffle for you. Okay, this one. Faith. Now, I guess it's having faith in your decision as well. Having faith in the cosmos, that it's actually giving you what you want. That's another thing. It feels a little bit like the 7 of Pentacles, you know, standing in the garden. having faith. You've worked very hard for something, and having enough faith to take that bold step to go on to the next level. So the question you could always ask yourself is, what's the worst that can go wrong, and what have I really got to lose? What have I got to gain? When you make big changes in your life, you have a whole new set of experiences. It challenges you to think and adapt and cope in a new world. So, you know, the cosmos will not let you down. You know, you may have to give up some things, but a new reality will bring you new joys, new challenges, a new way of thinking. So that's all I can say about that card. That's having faith in your own ability to cope as well. That's the other thing. So always given new opportunities wherever you go. Thank you so much for watching, Pisces. I do hope you've enjoyed the reading. Bye for now.